Fear, fear, fear. Are you afraid? Oh my God, fear is the one thing that keeps most creative people from ever doing anything cool and innovative and exciting because we just want to stay in our little comfort zone. We're nice and warm and safe. But you're never going to get out in the world and do awesome stuff if you let fear hold you back. So how do you overcome it? How do you banish it from your mind? That's what I'm going to cover in this video, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Bob Baker, author of The Empowered Artist and the Guerrilla Music Marketing Handbook and many other titles. Welcome to my video channel where I dish out marketing and career advice for musicians, writers, visual artists, performers, and creative entrepreneurs of all types. Plus, I throw in some comedy and other fun stuff to keep things interesting. So if you don't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. So fear, how do you overcome it? What do you do? Well, here's the first thing that you need to know about this whole fear thing. If you ever think that to be able to do anything big and important and awesome in the world that you need to be fearless, or that the people that you admire, the successful artists, have somehow moved beyond fear, that is complete and utter bullshit. Beep! Woo, I had to beep that one out. It is a family-friendly channel, relatively speaking. No, all the successful people that you admire still think all the thoughts that you do. They have the inner critic, that inner voice. This is telling me it's not good enough. Who do you think you are? There's no getting around encountering the voice, the critic, the fear. What successful people do is get on agreeable terms with it. They move forward and take action. And I put myself in this category too, despite the fact that fear is hanging around. But it stops so many people. So what can you do to tame that sucker, to shut it up? There are some people who give those negative thoughts in their head way too much respect. So I suppose one thing that you could do is disrespect it, to dishonor those negative voices, to tell it to shut the hell up. I guess you could yell at it. No, fear, you're not the boss of me. Go to your room, fear. No fear for you. Sure, you could yell at it and maybe that would work for you. However, there's this little slogan that has some truth to it, that whatever you resist persists. So sometimes resisting and pushing against the fear can actually make it grow bigger, perhaps. So maybe try the opposite approach. Another thing that's worked for me at times is actually to embrace it, to make the fear your friend, to get chummy with it, to ask the fear, okay, I hear you. What's the lesson? What are you trying to tell me? And if you just really think about it and slow down and listen to this fearful voice, you'll realize that underneath all of that dread and uncertainty and the monsters coming out of the shadows, there's actually probably some nugget of truth, something that you need to be aware of to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself out of trouble. Maybe there's a nugget of truth there, but it doesn't have to be this monster that's keeping you chained up or in a cage and not allowing you to create and share your gifts with the world. That's the biggest travesty here, is letting it win to where it allows you to get comfortable playing small. That is not what you want to do. And by embracing the fear and getting on friendly terms with it, sometimes that alone will dissipate it. It'll weaken, it'll float away, and then you can continue going back to work and getting stuff done. So when it comes to that inner critic, that inner voice that we all hear, one of the best techniques ever could possibly be giving it a silly voice and making it a character. Because we do give that fear too much prominence. We give that inner critic a spotlight on the stage and we take it seriously. But what if we could diminish its role and make it actually ridiculous? What if you gave it an interesting voice and an interesting character? Perhaps, oh, look who thinks he's going to be a musician. Look at here. I mean, if your inner critic sounded like the Queen, you'd probably have to laugh at it a little bit, unless you were afraid of queens, I suppose. Or what if your inner critic became Barney the Dinosaur? Well, super-de-duper, look who thinks he's good enough to be a writer. I know I'm really good at these voices. That's why I make the big bucks. So whatever you have to do to put fear in its place, do it. Don't be so burdened by it. Don't get so serious about it. Be lighthearted. And make that inner critic just a ridiculous character to where you cannot possibly take it seriously. because it's not the real you. The essence of the real you inside is perfect and pure, it's confident, it's expressive, it's creative, and that's what you should be focusing on. That's the voice you need to give the microphone to or the megaphone to. Don't take it so seriously, okay? So that's how you overcome fear, not by banishing it, not by resisting it, by embracing it and having a little bit of fun with it. Let it ride shotgun in the car every now and then. What the heck? So that's my advice on this fear thing. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, there's a couple of things you could do. One is get on the Creative Entrepreneur VIP list. Just go to this website, promoteyourcreativity.com, promoteyourcreativity.com. And I'll not only send you an email every time a new episode or podcast or blog post is published, but I'll also give you free access to my online course called 30 Ways to Become an Empowered Artist. And if you'd like to support my ongoing mission to educate, inspire, and empower creative people around the world, please consider becoming a patron. Just go to patreon.com/Bob Baker to learn more about how to do that. I would really appreciate your support. And of course, I'll put links to those down in the show notes and maybe up in the little card with the circle thing up there in the corner there if you see it. So subscribe to the channel, hit the little like button, leave a comment, share this with someone who could really use it. Thanks for all you do to express your creativity and share your gifts with the world. I'm Bob Baker saying so long for now. I think I'm ready. Anything embarrassing in the background? I don't think so. Hi. So there's a certain group of people who, some people give those negative thoughts in their heads a little bit too much respect. So I guess please consider becoming a Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Bob Baker to learn more about that and all the cool things you get by supporting my efforts at different levels.